These two have spent quite some time on a journey of discovering how powerful self-love really is. And from my own personal experience, I got to watch Breeanne last year really tune into what that means for her. And then she started to recognize that's part of her dharmic path to share that with the world and teach people how to really dive deeply into self-love, more than just hugging ourselves, and that's really so much deeper. So please give a round of applause and warm welcome to Breeanne and Chelsea. Hello. Hello. Oh, actually, can I make an announcement real quick? Sorry, two quick announcements. So we have a live stream going tonight, which is awesome. And we're also looking for somebody else that might want to also live stream for the following, because we've got some battery things going on, and we would really love some extra support. If anyone wants to step up and do live stream after this one, please come talk to me. That would be super helpful. Thank you.
So we're going to share stories a little bit about self-love, because for me it hasn't always been about self-love. It's actually been quite the opposite in my journey. And so when I was about 3 or 4 years old, I always knew what love was. I didn't know intellectually what love was, but I knew on a visceral level. Like, I was skipping, I was singing to God, like I was totally that little girl. But when I hit middle school, I was severely depressed. I was suicidal. Mind you, I had a background of an abusive household. And so my whole entire life, like, all I was seeing was like self-hate, self-betrayal, self-criticism, like everything opposite of self-love. And so I tried that on. I wore that, and I tried to go about my life in that way. And life was really difficult. You know, it's really difficult when you don't love yourself. And you don't really know that you're the one that's creating that. You know, you think that life is just difficult, but when you actually step back from it a little bit, you can realize that you are actually creating your life. When you start to love yourself, things become a little bit more easier. And so when I was 20 years old, I got introduced to yoga, and for me, that was like the doors opening to self-love. Like, I found all the teachers that guided me to it. I found all the exercises, and I just really found myself. Like, I started listening to myself, to what I want, to what I need, to how I want to show up. And it's not something like, oh, bam, like I found self-love, like I'm gonna own it. It's something like, oh, okay, that's the trail to self-love, and I'm gonna go down that trail, and I'm gonna keep walking, and actively every single day commit to loving myself. Because the days that I commit to loving myself, those days go a lot better. And the days that I don't, I remember, oh wow, I need to commit to actually loving myself a little bit more fully. And you know, it's just like if you go to the gym, like you go to the gym one day and you expect to have an amazing body, that's not it. You know, you actively have to keep putting in effort to love yourself. And so that's my story around self-love and my journey, and that I'm so committed to loving myself. It's such a lifelong journey.
So beautiful. Hi everyone, I'm Chelsea. Feels so good to be standing up here with you. It's such a beautiful gift to be in front of this room speaking about love in a time when I feel love is the greatest gift that we can be giving and the most important conversation to be having right now. So much like Breeanne, when I was in middle school and even elementary school, I was bullied and often left out of groups and kind of pushed aside and not feeling worthy of attention or love. And I too was really depressed and saw a therapist and felt like something was really wrong with me. Nobody liked me. And that story carried through until about high school, and I was 16 and so gratefully introduced to personal development and I started going to courses and seminars and meditating and doing some serious work on myself and really going inside to find out and remember why and where that story started. When did I decide that I wasn't lovable, or when did I decide that I wasn't worthy of my own love, and taking that time and giving myself the TLC that's required to love ourselves. And through the personal development work, I just started peeling back the layers, and day by day and step by step and really moment to moment choosing self-love and being a radical and relentless self-lover. And it wasn't always easy. There were days when I'm like, oh wow, I feel like a fraud, or, you know, am I faking this? And more times than not, I was like, no, this is actually how I'm feeling. I really love myself. And it was the journey, as Breeanne described, where one day I didn't wake up and say, oh, the past is, you know, that's over and now I'm a goddess of self-love. It was one day at a time, just taking one step closer. Oh, I love myself a little bit more today. Oh, I can feel in my belly that there's more love to give myself and therefore give other people today. And since then, it's been the most beautiful and juicy and fulfilling experience of my life to be so tapped into this self-love and to be relentless in the choosing of that. And Breeanne and I have been really holding this shared vision for what it means to be, you know, in love with yourself in a radical way. So radical self-love. And that's what we've been marinating with over these past few months. And we wanted to share 4 of our favorite tips and kind of go-to strategies that we use every day to cultivate self-love and to just take one step closer. Doing these 4 tips alone is probably not going to do it for you, but if you do them every day and find what works for you, over time you're going to wake up just like we did and go, oh my God, you know, I feel like a different woman, or I feel like a different man, and I'm so in love with myself and the person who I'm choosing to be.
Yes, thank you for that.
Want to give it number 1?
Yeah, so I'll give you guys number 1. So number 1 is truly learning to listen to yourself. And how I do that on a daily basis is a moment of solitude. So whether that is meditation or that is literally just 2 minutes where you sit by yourself and you close your eyes, you can put one hand on your heart and you ask yourself, what is it that I can do today that will make me feel most fulfilled? What is it that I can do today where I can feel really loved? And in that listening, it's like, oh, I matter. Like me, I matter. And then you're able to give that to yourself. And so, you know, realistically, like if you're working like 9-to-5 office job and you have like, oh, I want to go to the beach. You know, it's not about like not going to your work and going to the beach. It's about like making it work. You know, it's about like either going to the beach before work, or it's about like scheduling in your calendar. Oh, okay, like I know my heart yearns to go to the beach, so I'm going to do that. So making it where you listen to yourself and actually putting that action forward is number 1.
I love that. And I will say I've totally skipped work to go to the beach. I'm like, yes, I'm here. Oh, and it feels so good to do that sometimes and just be a little rebel.
Totally.
Okay, so number 2, and this really is so in alignment with what you've just shared, which is knowing what fills your cup. So for all of us, we have something and multiple things that will fill our cup that might not work for the person sitting next to you. So for me, what fills my cup is getting together with girlfriends or people that I really love and just getting loved up on. Or I love to go and take a bar class, and I love to meditate. And for you, maybe you love to go for a run, or you love to get massage. That's definitely on my list. And so maybe creating a list of 10 ways that you know fill your cup. And write them down and keep them in your favorite journal. And every day, make sure you're doing at least one of those things. And it can even be small, like having music playing while you're cooking dinner and having Sade on, or whatever your favorite station is. And so yes, make a list of 10 things that fill your cup, and then return to that list every day so you can see, okay, here's what I did today that filled my cup.
Beautiful, love it, love that one. Number 3 is a commitment to always love yourself. And that, how I do that is, so whenever I'm experiencing where I'm not feeling loved from another person, like my perception's like, oh, I'm not feeling loved, maybe my boyfriend's being a jerk, maybe my friend, whatever it is, like we're humans, right? And we have the full spectrum within us. And so whenever that happens, taking a moment, whether you go by yourself and asking yourself, like, how can I commit to loving myself in this moment? Or how can I commit to loving another person in the moment? And just that question of asking, like, how can I commit to that? Or how can I commit to loving that person? Will bring that inspired action through, whether that's through compassion or kindness, or just a moment to pause. That will just generate the love that's needed. And it's something that it's a practice, right? So it's just the first time you going and taking that moment and asking yourself is gonna look a lot different, like down the road, like 5 years from now, you taking that moment and pausing and asking yourself. Grace comes with practice. So just knowing that, but just the moment to pause and ask that question has been really powerful in my life.
I love that. Grace comes with practice.
It does.
It does. And tip number 4, and this is my secret weapon. This is the thing that I've been most committed to every day, taking time to do this. And it's really my favorite, is giving gratitude. And not only just saying it to say it because we know that we're supposed to be grateful and appreciative, but actually taking time dedicated to out loud, wherever you are, in your car, in your shower. I love to do it in the shower, or while you're cooking dinner, give gratitude out loud. So literally, while you're driving or whatever you're doing, hold your heart, touch your body, and think about, what am I grateful for my physical body? So I love how soft my skin is. I'm so grateful for my healthy eyes. It can be, I love my eyebrows. I mean, we always joke, like, just down to the smallest thing. And then, what do I love about myself on the inside? Beauty from the inside out. I love my compassionate heart. I love how open I am and how creative I am. And then moving out into your environment. So looking around at all the amazing people you have in your life, and the fact that we're living in this gorgeous city, and that we're alive even, and that we're breathing. So I'm so grateful for my health, and I'm so grateful for how connected I feel to my community. And for 5 minutes, I usually do more, but as a good starting point, 5 full minutes out loud, speaking what you're grateful for and what you love and appreciate about yourself and about your life. And not just kind of saying it to say it, but really feeling it in every cell of your body and letting the gratitude and appreciation flood you so that you're oozing that energy. Everyone that you meet, everyone you interact with is then getting you from your fullest and from your overflowing cup of gratitude and love, which, I mean, it's changed my life in ways I can't even explain. Not to mention that when you're tapped into gratitude at that level, you really become a magnet, and I've become a magnet for blessings. And sometimes the blessings come in 4 hours, or 24 hours, or 48 hours, and you're going, oh my God, I said I was grateful for something that I want to happen in the future, or something I'm grateful for now that's happening now, and blessings just flooded my life, whether that's business opportunities, or bringing in VIP clients, or having, your lover come and surprise you, whatever it may be. So gratitude is really the secret weapon. That's the foundation for self-love. And it's so juicy when you start to really make it a daily practice.
Aho.
Thank you all so much for listening so deeply.
Yeah, thank you for being here, Betsy. Thank you for inviting us. Breeanne and I feel so honored. We've been actually running a 22-day radical self-love challenge for the ladies. I know there are some men who are a little bit jealous. But for all the ladies, we've been running the radical self-love challenge and giving tips like this daily. And Breeanne's doing 10-minute guided meditations every day, all around self-love. And we're going to do another cycle. So if any of the women in the room are curious or inspired to hear more about that, we would absolutely love to chat with you. And if not tonight, send us a message on Facebook or let's connect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.